What's up, guys? Excalibur here. Just want to make a few videos this weekend. Start off with what NESSIE did on Friday. Definitely missed a lot of these. I thought we would sell off at open, so I kind of didn't really trust anything on Friday. So I only got two call outs, but just gonna go over what I saw in NESSIE, what NESSIE does, and just overall the amazing results it had on Friday. Here's ES. We had an overnight session. Huge shout out from Amazon. Kind of consolidated, sold off overnight. Nice little pop up. We had the data and everything. Came in around 8:30. We had another huge soft, and NESSIE decided to render down. NESSIE hasn't rendered on the 2-minute since February 2nd. So we've been in kind of sell mode since February 2nd on 2-minute. What we did right here, we had one render on this 832 candle, one render on 834. Nice little bounce. 9 o'clock. Nice push. Whenever we get close to NESSIE or NESSIE's underneath, that means there was a big liquidity switch right here. Usually means if it's underneath, usually a big buyer right here coming into the market. So you can tell, definitely when the market opened, we were kind of in the middle, which isn't the best probability trade, but in the middle we kind of pattern up here. This was a good short. This is the Omni Bands short, so I like to use on the shorter time frames the Omni Band shorter length, which you can tell you definitely don't want to really go long when you're in the red. Yes, you could still make money, but not as much money, and it's definitely a more riskier trade. Got out, came down, and then we're just watching it consolidate back right off to the NESSIE in the green too. This would have been an amazing time to go long. NESSIE in the green and the bands in the green. Played up to this time anchored VWAP right here. Played it to the TWAP, the VWAP right here. And then from there it was good. Eventually we topped out about 4530, so definitely we're watching 4530 on Monday. But sellers came in Friday. Definitely people don't want to hold over the weekend. Retailers don't want to hold over the weekend. But a nice little sell-off into close. You can tell how we kept bouncing off this TWAP bounce there. We're holding it up. Once we actually broke below it, that was a pretty good time. You can tell we broke below it, tested it, and then it continued to break down. That would have been a good short end of day. I was already done trading, so I didn't really notice that. But definitely NESSIE rendering down. Alerts. I had alerts go off in my Discord. Now I have alerts set. We would have had alert here. We would have had alert here, and maybe one that I gotta set it where we're getting alerts when we get close to the bounce. I think it has to close below NESSIE or close past NESSIE. But that was ES. Definitely NESSIE did not lie on ES. Going long on ES on Friday. We had AMD. I kind of went through. I like to put little stats on when you could have got into kind of the high of the day. But AMD 119. Something about 119 keeps keeping AMD up right now. February 2nd, kind of like the sell off after earnings. Something happened right there. Definitely liquidity at 119. You see we had one bounce. That would have been a nice bounce. Had another bounce, about the same area on Friday. If we turned on the Omni bands, definitely a little different. Go 2 minute. You can tell 2 minute when you're using multiple time frames. Yes, NESSIE is rendering above on the 2 minute, but we're in a green band, so we're looking to possibly go long. But you can tell on the 1 minute NESSIE right there from here to I think high a day right here was 1.29 to 3.7. You could have been done trading in an hour. Pretty simple trade. No, 2 minute was above. I think 5 minute was above. But even 5 minute, you can see nice bounce off this first band bounce. Came down even on a 5 minute. We bounced right off that 120 NESSIE render. So we're in the 5 minute we're rendering at 120, and then on the 1 minute we're rendering at 119, which is our bounce NESSIE on the 5 minute. So that was a nice trade. You probably could have taken, like I say, you want to play it to kind of the VWAP. That's where we kind of tapped out. And then you probably could have gotten along again here, play it to the VWAP. You can tell how we consolidated to VWAP. And then you could have left a couple runners up here in the red. That's when there's a higher probability of it going back down to the VWAP. So AMD, pretty simple. You could probably play that strike 120 twice and had a great day. Amazon, I have 1 hour. Try to find the time frame. I thought I had these all set up. Amazon 5 minute. Let's see if the 2 minute had it too. Yeah, 2 minute, 5 minute. I watched 2 minute. When I'm watching, I do pull up all four time frames that I do watch. But you can tell Amazon earnings rendered up. We had a nice sell off. Right here was one render, something happening, liquidity here at 6:30, and then right again, bounced, couldn't hold, and then right on this 9:40 little dip buy someone had, ran up. You had 1.18 to 6.3 at the high over here. We turned on OmniTunes, Omni bands. They're very wide due to the huge move it had, so you really can't figure out when to, the best time to get off. But you could tell this TWAP would have been the best, when we broke below, would have been the best time to hold, to get out. Yeah, in the 1 minute, probably when we went up to the red right here, it's probably where I would have exited. That's Amazon on Friday. Facebook was another killer. We had this huge sell-off earnings, kind of just sideways. We rendered down once, had a nice push. Another bounce off the render overnight session with Amazon selling, and then we had to sell off. Huge red candle at open, and then NESSIE render down. Get a nice quick little play here. My thing is I like to find these double bounces. I think that's just showing NESSIE just a little bit more stronger. So you had this one bounce, and then you could tell how we had this bounce here with nice sized green candles. Volume was definitely higher than normal at this time, so definitely something liquidity happened here. Nice push up. Jim Cramer said don't buy the dip on Facebook right now. He thinks it's going to go down. Of course, the inverse Cramer effect. When he says don't buy something, goes the opposite way. So Facebook decided to push up. You could have got in at 0.6 right here and turned it into 7. You could have turned $60 into $700 just by using NESSIE. NESSIE's paid for a year right there. With the Omni bands are probably going to be a little different because they're going to be super wide because of that huge move. You can tell super wide. Let's see what it looked like on the minute. So using the minute, we did open up in kind of towards the green, but nothing with Omni bands is showing. But definitely the place to exit would have been 1 minute in the red. We also had Microsoft. Another on 5 minute. This one's not the greatest thing, but definitely showing after it rendered down 10 minutes to close on Thursday, right before the Amazon earnings. So that's definitely very interesting. But for Microsoft, NESSIE's been above basically a week. So Microsoft's been a little trickier play on a 5 minute. But we finally got it rendered down, so you definitely want to be watching this 300 area, which previously 300 has been a good, nice buy for Microsoft. But we had a nice dip below, and then we kind of popped up, and then it seems like we retested it, which is always a good thing, you know. Once we break above NESSIE and kind of retest it, that's where I like to see. I like to have a little safer entrance. So I like to always have a retest. Just staying on the breakout. You always want to have you can play the breakout or you can play the retest. The retest is going to be safer. Turn on the Omni bands. Let's see if we had an exit and an entrance, but we definitely had. I mean, these things are. This has been in the green bands for a while, for like a day and a half. You can tell when we were in the red bands, when we're above. And there's your double tap all the way down. Definitely from the green bands. Kind of really stop anywhere here, but I probably would have played it to the VWAP. Start scaling up there and kind of leave a runner to see if we could get to the red. We didn't have a get to red. We kind of ran out of time on Friday. But you can tell this little thinner time maker VWAP, you can tell how it kept price here. Definitely wants to keep price up. It's another one. The last one we had was Square. Square was a big sell-off because of PayPal. So we had this big sell-off from about 128, where, very interesting, NESSIE rendered up at 128. You could have rode this thing from 128 all the way down to 100. Right there. Touched up. It had touched 100 perfectly. Oh, almost perfectly, but not perfectly. But yeah, that NESSIE rendered up gave a great sell. February 2nd rendered down. Very interesting right here. Not the best time to get in. We didn't really NESSIE really didn't do very well there. This is the 10 minutes, so 10 minutes, kind of want to go a little bit longer. Kind of safer bets. Drop down to different times. Most of them are rendering at the same price. But then again, we had that initial, on the 10 minute, we had the initial drop at open. Right off 100. Someone definitely decided to buy in, it seemed like. Huge red volume, huge green volume. You could have rode that all the way up 0.51 to 5.15 high a day. But watching, let's see if we had there's even on the 10 minute right here. We're in the green. I bet you we're in the red when NESSIE rendered up. There we go. We're in the red when NESSIE rendered up. Those were the big ones I saw. Definitely missed out on them. I had a few alerts on these. I'm still working on alerts and what time frames the best for these alerts and all that. Hopefully it doesn't get cluttered up. You can tell, I mean, this algo does not lie. I took a QQQ put on Friday just because I thought the market was off with data and all that, but I mean, this was, getting a QQQ put over here, not the smartest thing. If I would have definitely looked at everything, this render right here at like 353.8 something was up. Definitely should have looked at to go long instead of going short. We're down in the green. We have a better chance of going to the middle. But of course, I went to my old old habits and didn't listen to the algo. So that's why I just stick to the algo. That's everything. If you guys have a question about this algo, have anything to do with anything with this, feel free to DM me. Definitely worth your money. I don't chart at night. There's no point of charting. I wake up a little bit earlier, 8, 7:30, go through my charts, all time frames, trying to figure out what's where. And that's how I go off my plays. But y'all have a great rest of your weekend. Hopefully you are inspired by this algo. I believe it's just an amazing thing. Props to AI for coding this. I don't know how I did it, but definitely going forward, I'm all about this algo. But y'all have a great rest of your weekend.